What's going on YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. Right now we're sitting at 8,752. We're down 0.72%. It is currently 2:03 p.m. Eastern time, so I wanted to throw that out there as well in case you're watching this a little bit later. But what I've been looking at for Bitcoin right now, guys, these are the main key areas that I'm really zooming in on and paying the most attention I can to for Bitcoin. This white trend line that we're dealing with right here, and also this overhead resistance area. And the reason why I'm talking about these areas right now, what we're going to see is if this is consolidation where we're just slowly moving sideways here while we build more strength. You can see the volume starting to tail off as we build more strength for that next move up into this resistance box here. And this box I have is between $9,000, we'll call it, then up to around $9,800. And that's going to be all this area over here where we had a lot of fight, we had a lot of chop over in this area. So that definitely could be the next spot for overhead resistance if we're looking for that next move up. And guys, traditionally trends, if they've been trending for about 4 weeks, they'll want to continue in that direction. And what you can see here is we've really started this uptrend on December 18th, 2019. So we're getting around that point where it's almost at that 4-week area, and we want to see this trend continue, because what happened was, if we zoom out here, we broke out of a very strong downtrend channel. We've been in that downtrend channel for over 6 months, and that's extremely significant. The more touches, the more significant it is in terms of how many touches you have for the trend line. But we've gotten out of that, and it came on increased volume, so that's a good thing. Next thing I want to pay attention to, guys, is if we start having a retracement or a breakdown from where we're at right now. You can see a lot of wicks up here, so that's showing that profits being taken. Short-term traders, day traders are taking profits after this beautiful move that we had from $8,000 all the way up to around $9,000 there. And see, last time you can see all these wicks as well, and we went from around that $8,300 down to $7,600. So what I would look for here, guys, if there's continuously if profit is continuously being taken by these guys or these traders, what I would look for next is this area right here. We'll get out our horizontal line. I would look for our previous high at around 8,336 to become support. That was the area that we broke through on a nice strong candle on good volume there. Whenever you break through resistance, you want it to then become support. So that's the next area. If we do have a retracement, I would look for us to try to have a bounce around 8,336. And that's, guys, that's what I like to do. I really like to look at these wicks to the upside as well as the downside. You can see long wicks down here, and then it provided a nice strong move to the upside. Whenever you see wicks up here to the upside, a lot of times you'll have a fall after that. So this is just where I'm putting this on your radar and kind of warning you and just saying, you know, this is an area where we may cool down a little bit, have a calm period before we make that next blast to the upside if we are to continue this trend. And guys, traditionally out of an inverse head and shoulders pattern like we had here on the 4 hours, that definitely can be a bottoming pattern for us overall for Bitcoin coming out of that 6-month downtrend. And what was interesting with this on the 4-hour time frame, we had this large inverted head and shoulders, and we also had a smaller one that was in here for the left shoulder. If you can see, we plunged down, we came back up, so that's your left shoulder. Here's our head, we came back up, right shoulder, and then we made a move, but we basically just gave it all back after we made that move. So that's why we're really looking for continuation here. But with these candles, you have a shooting star candle, you have a doji candle forming right now, you have another doji candle up here. So there's just a lot of indecision around this area, and it just may be a spot where we need to cool down a little bit after these strong explosive moves so that we can therefore make the next move up. Because remember, markets, they have to breathe. They're like a human. After a big pump up, guys, just like over here, huge pump up, they had to breathe. They had to take time until we could make that next move up. And that's traditionally how it will happen. You know, in cryptocurrency, things get a little bit crazier. They can just get so explosive to where our RSI can be sitting at 90 on a one-day chart, and it's going to push up another 5, notches on the RSI. And that just is what it is, guys. Cryptocurrency can get so overbought, so oversold. And these are just the key areas that I'm looking at here for support, overhead resistance. We're up above all our moving averages right now, so that's a good thing. And what I wanted to get into next with you guys, in the breaking of this neckline, when we broke this neckline, we came back, we found support off it, and then we got back up above this downtrend channel. So I believe that was significant as well. Next thing I want to do is look at trend line angles with you. So this trend line here, guys, in white, if we pull this up, this angle is roughly about 48 to 50 degrees there. And I wanted to read something out of a charting book that I have. This is 7 chart patterns that consistently make money. And what it says is, one last note on trend lines. The best angle on a line for breaks, for trend line breaks, is 45 degrees. The shallower the angle, the less pronounced any breaks are likely to be. Conversely, for trend line reversals, you want to see a shallow angle formed by the trend line, 20 to 30 degrees or so is best. So this being up around 50 here, if this breaks, it could be a quick drop back down, guys, to this area, that 8,300, or even back testing this downtrend channel again. So those are the downside targets, right? 8,300, and then this downtrend channel there, and then this green neckline that we've already back tested before. We wouldn't want to lose that area around 7,600. And then to the upside, if we get a move out of here, we're looking around 9,100 up to around that $10,000 range. Now, I wanted to clear some of this off here, and I wanted to get into the RSI with you. And remember, all this is on the 4-hour time frame right now. We'll get rid of our trend lines as well, guys, in our neckline. I just really want to clear some stuff off here for us so we can take a look at this, because what we were looking at there was just price action. So now I want to get into a few indicators. And what I like to do when I enter trades, I always enter them off price action first, and then I'll add some indicators. So I'll look at all the price action, and then I'll look at the indicators, see if everything's matching up, then I'll make my trade. I'll never just go off an indicator alone. You guys, if you get something from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Like I said, I'm trying the best I can for you. I'm not your financial advisor. Just doing the best I can, trying to learn this stuff myself. All self-taught here in the last 1.5 to 2 years. So just want to continue to grind and learn this best that I can. And let me know what you guys are doing with Bitcoin right now. Are you guys currently in a position? I've been in a position now, guys, since about $8,200. I have a break-even stop loss on it right now just to be safe, because I'm not necessarily sure what's going to take place right now. So that's where I'm just cautious myself. I like to use stop losses in this space. Even if you get pinged out or tinged out, guys, just like how I said it there with the 8,200, then I break even and I look for the next spot to get in. It's just all about trading and, taking profits when you can take profits, but also letting things run when they have the potential to run. And that's where you'll miss out on some things sometimes. If you take profits too early, you'll miss a big explosive run. So that's why I like to use a break-even stop, or I would even go lower down into the area around that 7,600 below the neckline here as well. But it's just all about your risk to reward ratio is what you're looking at. But in terms of the RSI on the 4-hour, guys, we are at 69 right now. I like to play 80 as overbought in the cryptocurrency space. We've talked about that. It can get very overbought, to the extreme. So that's where I like to go with that. So we're not in that overbought territory yet. We're getting close to that, but there still may be enough juice here, guys, if we move sideways for a little bit to start bumping up into these higher numbers. That's always a possibility. Then we'll look at the RSI on the 1 day, kind of look what the candle's looking like here. So right now we have a bit of a doji candle forming, so we got that indecision here. Yesterday's candle was beautiful. It was a bullish belt hold line candle, so a very strong candle there. Came on heavy volume. Our RSI is at 68 right there, so same deal, guys. We're getting closer to that 70, but like we said, we really can get overextended in this space a lot of times. You can get up to the 80s, the 90s. It just is what it is, and that's what you want to look for, guys. I mean, down here in this area, when we hit the bottom, I want to show you how extreme this can get for the people who are still here with me. So when we came down here and we hit around that $3,100, our daily RSI was down here around 5. So that's how extended it can get to the downside. And then to the upside last time, we ended up getting to 94. So that's what I'm saying. We really can push hard, guys, really fast and aggressive. So I wouldn't just be going off the RSI and looking at it and going, okay, well, we may be in that overbought territory right now. I would just really look at the price action, look at the candles, look at those type of things. I can tell you a little bit more than the RSI right now. Then what we'll do here on the 1 day, we'll go into our MACD as well, see what that's looking like. MACD histogram's positive, had our bullish cross. We're just moving to the upside there. Our stock RSI, it is a little bit more in that overbought territory. We're at 89 and 82, so just be aware of that. But realize we can also hang out in this area for quite a while. What you would look for is to see if we're having a downside cross back through that 75 and 75. It's what you like to look at, because then they'll have that velocity for that downward move, as opposed to just being thrown off because it's in that overbought territory. But guys, right now this is the time, in my opinion, just to be cautious right now. Let's just really wait and see what happens here. See if we're going to get that next move up, or if we're going to get a nice little retracement, maybe back onto this 20 EMA on the 4 hour and this previous high here around that $83 to $8,400. See if we make a move off there. But that's what I'm looking at right now, guys. Just be patient, be cautious. If you're in a move right now, just realize, guys, this market can dump really hard, really fast at times, and just to protect yourself. You can see all this profit taking last time, then we had a big dump here. Got a lot of profit taking here. We'll see if we have another nice dump, set a higher low, and then maybe make that next move. But that's what I'm looking at, guys. That's the best I can do for you today. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Take care.